Good afternoon, Miss Karen, and I will be explaining about our research method, which is titled The Impact of Food Delivery to the Growth of Restaurant Business in Indonesia. First of all, I will be explaining about the introduction. I will begin with the background, which is the technological advancement all over the world. Due to the technological advancement that is occurring all over the world, this this creates more opportunities for everyone to generate income, including the F&B industry. Following that, online food delivery platforms such as Grab Food and GoFood is on the rise nowadays, and many people love it. With the success of these apps in recent years, it can increase job vacancy for people to have jobs. In recent years, even smaller online food delivery apps started to rise, although their scale is not as big as GrabFood or GoFood. Next is the problem statement. Due to the lack of infrastructure and technological development in some areas in Indonesia, Indonesia as a country might still face the difficulty of accessing the internet, and therefore it will result in an unsuccessful online food delivery business. Next is the research objective, which is the first to determine whether or not food delivery platforms such as GoFood, GrabFood, and other online delivery platforms can promote and generate more incomes for restaurant industries in Indonesia. Second one is to analyze which areas in Indonesia will online food delivery applications be proven helpful due to the high amount of users and who are using these types of application. The third one is to determine whether or not online food delivery platforms can create new opportunities for the restaurant industries in Indonesia. And finally, to determine the amount of users and how familiar are Indonesians with online-based delivery platform. Next is the research question. The first one is what is an online food delivery app and what are its features? The second one is online food delivery platform effective in 2020 despite the ongoing pandemic? The third one is how can technology help restaurant business develop in the future? And finally, what needs to be done in Indonesia in order to fully maximize the use of current technology? The next part will be explained by my other teammates.
So now I will explain about the literature review. The first one is about the introduction. The point of this intro is about F&B business has taken a great hit from this pandemic. So many theories discuss the influence of COVID-19 on increasing restaurant food purchases online. Although the literature covers a wide variety of such theory, this literature will focus on four theories that emerged over time through the literature review. Like most theories, the theory of COVID-19 is getting more and more prevalent. There are so many positive and negative effects of this virus. However, in this discussion, the positive impact is emphasized because one of the positive impact is the increasing number of increasing number of online application users to send food.
Next is the theoretical framework. Dependent variable is increasing online food deliveries. In this dependent variable, we discuss theory about the food delivery purchases in Indonesia. Because food delivery purchases is the way or the invention for the culinary industry that is of restaurant delivery from home to home, and the people who are waiting food in their home. But there is one cases in all over the world in 2000, and at the end of 2019 there is coronavirus. Because of that, food delivery purchases is increasing. Many people didn't want to go out because of that, because of the virus, and then they use delivery apps. Like in Indonesia, there is two apps that is bigger. There is Gojek and Grab that is invented the Gojek Food, GoFood and Grab Food. Because of this pandemic, these two companies is very increasing and can get much more money from that. And there is a statistic in 2019. There is 74.8% of Indonesia get use GoFood or Gojek, and then there is 20.9% people in Indonesia use GoFood, GrabFood, and 3.1% people in Indonesia use their the other apps. Then there is the COVID-19. This COVID-19 is the independent variable. We know that COVID-19 is very dangerous, and this is the most stressful topic in 2020. Because of this, in China, there is the first symptom that has been counted in Wuhan. There is 41 symptoms or have test positive in the Wuhan, China. This COVID-19 is like ordinary disease such as pneumonia. Then that people will is very because of its symptom, people very afraid to go out, and then there is so many cases. People in Indonesia such as Jakarta, Surabaya, Medan, Bandung, big cities, all people get positive of this coronavirus. Uh, why Indonesia get the positive in the very highest positive in Southeast Asia? Because the people in Indonesia uh, is very people in Indonesia is very selfish, because our symptom people didn't care about another people, and they care about themselves. And the government in Indonesia taught us to wear masks and uh, bring hand sanitizer to go out, and they must or go home or into the other place. The government will ask the people to wash their hands first before come. And
So now I will explain about the third theories of in this paper. This is about social distancing. So people need to distance themselves from each other in order to make the infection rate lower, because the number of the spread of the coronavirus has increased. There are first steps to taken to prevent the spread of the virus. This step is to keep the distance. Maintaining distance is done by maintaining physical contact between each person to prevent the spread of the virus of disease between one person and another. So the most effective way to avoid the large crowds, because this virus is very easy to spread at the close range or the close room. But but therefore some people choose to not to go out and stay at home instead. As we know, Indonesia health institution temporarily close the workplace, malls, and schools. So many people isolate himself in the house. Everyone who works in the office is also employed at homes or work from home to limit interaction between the people. So now I will talk about the fourth theory is about prohibition of dining at the restaurant. The regulation in Indonesia makes the restaurant have to be closed or open with a limitation of how many people can dine in. The reason is because people have to take off their masks when they want to eat. So when they're eating together, the risk of the droplet or the will increase the risk of transmitting of the virus. This is the reason why some restaurants as people ask the people to for take away the food only. And some people feel safer to eat at their own house rather than to eat with strangers during this pandemic. So food business activities, restaurant, cafes are allowed to continue operating, but are not allowed to accept visitors to eat on the restaurant. So orders are taken, orders are delivered, but do not eat on site. Some outlets still serve order on the spot, but consumer cannot eat in their restaurant. Many restaurants only accept online ordering service. In the service, it is advisable to order food from home rather than ordering directly from the restaurant.
Then the next one is research framework. We use three independent variable and one dependent variable. The first variable the first independent variable is corona, and then the second independent variable is social distancing, and then the third independent variable is prohibit eating at restaurant. Then for the only one dependent variable, we talk about increasing online food delivery purchases. Then for the hypothesis, the first hypothesis is food deliveries platform could generate more income and create new opportunities for the restaurant industries in Indonesia. The second hypothesis is the high usage of food deliveries application is helpful of the growth of restaurant business in Indonesia. The third or the last is the COVID-19 pandemic result in more people using food delivery applications, thus eating more income for the restaurant.
Hi, my name is Clifton, and I'm going to continue with the research methodology. Our group used quantitative study as our research design. A questionnaire will be distributed to our future respondents. Quantitative study is a method where we collect and analyze numerical data to get the best result within huge populations. The questionnaire will consist of general questions such as gender, age, and profession, and questions that are focused on our research, with a linear scale ranging from 1 to 5 for the answers. Our group uses positivism paradigm in order to have a better judgment for the result of our research based on the answer from the questionnaire. Positivism paradigm is a method that is used to verify the hypothesis with the available data that is usually collected using quantitative methods by using hypothetical-deductive methods to generate explanations from the early prediction on the topic. For our sampling method, we'll be using for this research is non-probability sampling, specifically convenience method. Convenience method is a method where you found an individual who was available at the time to fill a questionnaire. The benefits of using convenience method are there are no specific rules that need to be followed, and it is easy to be distributed, meaning that you can have a respondent anytime as long as you find a person that is willing to fill a questionnaire. The questionnaire will be distributed using Google Forms for our data collection method to those who are Indonesian and citizen. Questionnaire is a set of questions with a purpose to gather more information about a particular subject from respondents. The target for this questionnaire is those who have used the food delivery application. By using this method, we can obtain more accurate data to use for the results. We chose those target respondents because we wanted to know how significant is the development of food deliveries in Indonesia. We use questionnaires as our method for primary data collection because it has some benefits, which are questionnaires doesn't require any cost and it has a good accessibility for everyone. We are planning to get at least 100 respondents for our questionnaire, but more responders are encouraged to ensure that there is no response bias. Response bias could happen in a lot of situations, and it could happen intentionally and accidentally. If this incident occurs, the data that has been collected could become less useful. For our data analysis technique, we'll be using statistical package for social science software by IBM, since it is considered as one of the standard software for statistical analysis. Analyzing the data will consist of testing the hypothesis using the data that has been collected from the questionnaire. The SPSS software is suitable for this research because it can provide intricate data manipulation and study with simpler instruction. Lastly, all the results from the SPSS software will be compared to the hypothesis to determine whether the hypothesis is correct or incorrect. And that's all for today. Thank you.